Thanks. Merci. I just want to quickly open with, lots of folks are turning their attention to the United States right now and looking at the election. And in normal times, I don't think, while people would be interested, I don't think people would be weighing in on the outcome. But we're not in normal times. What President Trump has done is so far beyond what is normal that it is a moral imperative that we have to speak out and make it really clear that what he has done in his presidency is wrong. The fact that a country just south of our border has so abysmally failed the challenge of this global pandemic has put people in the United States at risk and has put, frankly, the world at risk with the horrible mismanagement which lies directly at the feet of a prime minister or of a president who clearly is challenging science, who denies basic steps that would keep people safe, who has inflamed division, has inspired white supremacists, violence, has emboldened racism and division to an extent that we've not seen before. In that context, yes, it is important for the world to say very clearly, I've said very clearly, I think it would be better for the world if Trump loses, and I hope he loses today.
And on that, we're
En français, j'ai oublié, je m'excuse, parce que dans le moment, j'étais comme dans le moment. Si on parle de la normale, c'est pas normal exactement de parler de qu'est-ce qui va passer dans une élection aux États-Unis. Oui, c'est toujours le cas qu'on a intérêt, mais c'est pas tout le temps normal de dire qui va gagner ou qui doit gagner ou non. Mais ce n'est pas des temps normaux. Ce qui s'est passé aux États-Unis, ce n'était pas normal, pas du tout. Un président qui a inflammé la division, qui a pris des décisions qui mettent en péril pas seulement les États-Unis et les gens aux États-Unis, mais tout le monde avec comment il a agi ou pas agi avec la COVID-19. Donc, dans ce cas, c'est une décision morale de me prononcer contre un président comme ça et de vouloir voir sa défaite. Et c'est pourquoi j'ai dit ça.
Nous allons maintenant passer aux questions, commençant par les questions au téléphone. Une question suivie seulement. We'll now take questions, starting with a question on the phone, one question, one follow-up only. Operator, do we have a first question?
Thank you. Please press star 1 if you have a question or comment. Faites étoile 1 pour toute question ou commentaire. There's no question registered. Il n'y a pas de questions pour le moment.
And we'll take questions from the room.
Hello, it's Annie Bertrand-Oliver from CTV National News.
Hi, Annie.
I'm wondering how you think the United States has changed in the last 4 years since Trump was elected, and I'm wondering what changes do you think will stay regardless of who's elected today?
One of the things that we've seen for sure over the past 4 years is an erosion of that position of being a global leader. In a lot of ways, due to the economic might, the military might, the United States has been looked upon as a leader and often has used that power inappropriately in the past. But there is a certain respect that it had. And then what has clearly happened under President Trump is an erosion of any respect of the country, specifically related to President Trump and his presidency. And I don't think it speaks to the people. This is a direct critique of the president. He has eroded that trust that people might have had in the country. I think what he has done very specifically has been to really embolden what people may have felt but have hidden, or people had felt that and didn't feel they could come out with their divisive or racist or xenophobic beliefs. He has emboldened it to an extent that we've not seen before. People who would have kept a lot of those ideas maybe undercover, maybe not talked about them, have felt emboldened, and it has put people at risk by emboldening that type of division. And clearly the major thing that he has done is the major challenge that we're all faced with as a world right now is this global pandemic. And his abject failure to respond to it, questioning basic science, questioning the advice of experts, has really put a lot of people in danger, put a lot of people's lives in danger, and has put the world, frankly, in more danger because of his recklessness. And that is something that might have lasting impacts.
Okay, this... Oh.
Oui, en français. Donc, comme à cause du fait que les États-Unis est considéré comme un pays puissant avec un grand militaire, il a eu des respects à cause de ça. Et le président Trump a réduit ses respects dans une manière, une grande manière, dans un impact tellement sérieux. Et il a vraiment inflammé les divisions pour encourager et inspirer les racistes, les gens qui tiennent à cœur des pensées, des valeurs qui, dans le passé, peut-être ils auront dû cacher, mais ils étaient encouragés par les propos divisifs de M. Trump. Donc, c'était un résultat. Mais le plus grand résultat, je pense, de sa présidence, le fait qu'il était président, c'était le plus grand défi qu'on fait face à maintenant, c'est la COVID-19 et la façon qu'il a géré cette crise a mis en péril pas seulement les gens aux États-Unis, mais tout le monde. Et ça va être son legacy, effectivement.
Okay, follow-up. This might be a little convoluted.
Yep.
We're in a minority government situation, and we've already seen in the last several months that there have been votes that a lot of people thought could trigger an election. You're obviously the leader of the NDP. You've said that you wanted to become prime minister, but yet you've been very outspoken about Mr. Trump during the last campaign, as well as just now saying you hope he loses. As somebody who's vying to become prime minister, are you concerned at all, or do you have any concerns that your outspoken distrust and dislike of Mr. Trump could hurt Canada-U.S. relations if he wins and if you win?
Now, I would say very clearly, normally, it would not be my place to have such a vocal opinion about the outcome of an election. And I don't think I normally would, but we are not in normal times. What President Trump has done is so far outside the realm of what's normal that it has become, I believe, a moral imperative to actually come out and state very clearly how wrong he is and how damaging he has been and how hurtful his presidency has been, not just for people in the United States, but around the world. Because it's so far from normal in what he has done and what he has said and what he stands for, the fact that he is openly endorsed white supremacists, encouraged them, that he has denied and rejected basic tenets of science, that he has put so many people's lives at risk, that he has been so heinous as a president, that it has become a moral imperative to say that, to put that out there. And it would not be something I would normally say, but these are not normal times. And I think it's important that a leader, at some point, it becomes important for you to stand up and say, hey, what is going on is wrong. And to make that clear and to have an opinion on that and to state it. I think you have to do that at some point. And that point is now. Oui. J'ai dit beaucoup de choses, donc il faut résumer ça un peu. Dans les temps normaux, oui, peut-être peut-être dans le passé, dans les autres élections, je n'ai pas donné une opinion sur qui va gagner dans une élection aux États-Unis. Mais dans ce cas, ce n'est pas un cas normal. Et ce que M. Trump a fait, c'est complètement dehors de ce qu'on pense est normal. Et il faut, à ce moment, il faut prendre une position pour être clair que ce qu'il a fait, comme il a inflammé les divisions, comme il a mis en péril les gens, c'est quelque chose qu'il faut condamner. Et c'est exactement ça que j'ai fait. Et je pense que c'est quelque chose qu'un chef doit faire. Quand quelque chose est assez abnormal et assez mauvais, qu'on a vu avec la présidence de M. Trump, il faut répondre à ça. Et c'est ce que j'ai fait.
Opératrice, avons-nous une question au téléphone?
Merci, thank you. Once again, please press star one if you have a question or comment. De nouveau, n'hésitez pas de faire étoile 1 pour toute question ou commentaire. There are no questions registered at this time. Il n'y a pas de questions pour le moment.
Okay, back to the room.
Bonjour, Juliane Lapointe de Radio-Canada.
Bonjour.
Donc, vous nous dites que vous êtes à un point où vous devez faire une sortie. Donc, on a vu votre message sur Twitter tantôt, votre publication. À quel point, justement, vous avez senti peut-être cette colère-là monter en vous? À quel point vous êtes en colère contre M. Trump?
C'est une colère, c'est une condamnation de M. Trump à cause de le fait que ça me rend en colère quand je vois l'injustice, quand je vois les gens qui sont en péril, qui sont menacés par les décisions prises par un gouvernement, par un président qui ne s'inquiète pas des gens, de leur vie. Et ça me rend en colère quand on voit des injustices. Et on a vu ça avec les enfants, comment il a mis les enfants effectivement dans des prisons, la façon qu'il a encouragé la violence, la façon qu'il a pas agi avec la COVID-19, tout ça, les résultats de tout ça, c'est les gens sont morts à cause de ça. Et ça me rend en colère. Et ça, c'est pourquoi je condamne clairement, ouvertement, directement M. Trump et j'encourage les gens de voter, c'est mon opinion, parce que c'était une blessure, ça va continuer d'être une blessure pour le monde aussi.
Est-ce que vous croyez que M. Trudeau aurait dû, à ce moment-là, condamner Trump plus fermement?
Oui, bien sûr. Avec les intimidateurs, avec les gens qui prennent des décisions comme ça, il faut être clair et fort et dénoncer les gens, et dénoncer leurs propos. Et je comprends aussi la réalité. Oui, on est tellement proche des États-Unis, mais ça ne dit pas qu'on ne peut pas avoir une opinion forte et condamner ce qui est clairement mauvais, ce qui est clairement problématique. Et c'est exactement ce qu'il faut faire et je vais continuer de faire ça.
And last question, David.
Hi, thanks, Mrs. Singh. David Thurton, CBC News.
Hey there.
It's really important to look at this election through a Canadian lens and how this impacts us here. And it's often said that what happens in the U.S., it's just a couple of years. Here in Canada, we're just a couple of years away from that actually happening here in Canada. Some people say that. So do you think Trump's presidency has had an impact on Canada? I'm not just talking about NAFTA. I'm not just talking about those kind of things, but, the things that you were speaking about, the kind of politics that he has brought to the United States.
Absolutely. President Trump has had a negative impact on the world. And not just with specific policies, but with the type of rhetoric, the type of words, the things that he said, the things that he signaled. He signaled in a really massive way that it's okay to hate people because of the way they are, where they come from. He signaled it's okay to resort to violence. He has encouraged and incited violence on numerous occasions. He has emboldened conspiracy theories. Like he has emboldened things that are completely debunked by science. He has justified stereotypes and myths and prejudice, and he has doubled down on them when challenged by them. Like he has done a lot that has directly emboldened some really scary things and negative things in Canada. I do believe in Canadians, and I believe in our desire to take care of one another, and I believe we as a country have resisted it to the most part, and most Canadians agree that he has been absolutely wrong in what he has said and done, and I think that is encouraging, and I take solace and encouragement from that.
Okay. Maybe it'd be good just to get your take on the opposition motion today,
Sure.
and also the Ways and Means motion that Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland has tabled. Where is your party's head on that? Where do you stand on that?
Sure. When it comes to the Ways and Means, the vote we recently supported, we've been saying from the beginning, our job here is to find a way to make government work for people, and we've been fighting to do that. Throughout this pandemic, we have fought for you, we have fought for people, we have delivered real programs and benefits that have helped people out in a massive way, and we're going to continue to do that. And one of the biggest critiques we had about the supports to small businesses was that the entire program was flawed in that a small business, whether we're talking about people in the fitness and wellness center, those who own gyms, restaurants, small businesses, mom and pop shops, they could not apply on their own for help. Like they had to wait for the landlord to apply. And like that was so inherently flawed. It was fatally flawed, and the results are no one really applied to the program because it was not designed to help businesses. And so that's something that we were encouraged to see. We want to see help also to people that are renting. Renters need support as well. So this is something that we're going to continue to work on. And then the conservative motion is a motion that specifically talks about giving small businesses a little bit of breathing room. Not putting audits in place for small businesses right now that are struggling is something that we're prepared to support. We would have added in addition that while for small businesses and mom and pop shops and businesses that are worried about shutting down and are facing really tough times, they absolutely need some help. We would have added that the large, wealthy, and profitable businesses should be audited with a clear view to making sure they pay their fair share. So that would have been one of the distinctions we put in. There's been companies that have made record profits in this time, and they need to be audited, they need to pay their fair share. We need to close the loopholes that allow them to get away with not contributing. Oui, bien sûr, oui, non, c'est toujours le droit de faire ça. Donc, j'ai touché quelques enjeux, donc je vais. Premièrement, avec notre positionnement en général avec le gouvernement, c'était toujours notre but de trouver une façon de forcer le gouvernement de travailler pour les gens. Et c'est exactement ce qu'on a fait avec plusieurs exemples où on a forcé on a effectivement mis en œuvre des programmes sociaux pour aider les gens avec la PCU, le montant de $2,000, avec le congé des maladies payées. On a plusieurs exemples où on a montré que notre but c'est de trouver une façon de forcer ce gouvernement de travailler pour les gens. Donc on va continuer de faire ça. Ça, c'est mon but pendant cette pandémie, de trouver des façons de faire ça. Avec la motion des conservateurs, ils proposent une façon d'aider les petites entreprises et on est d'accord pendant ce temps, c'est important de les aider. On a proposé plusieurs solutions, plusieurs propositions pour aider les petites entreprises et on va continuer de faire ça. Une chose qu'on aura ajoutée, c'est le fait que oui, avec les petites entreprises, ils ont besoin d'aide, mais les plus grandes entreprises qui ont fait des profits records, on doit s'assurer que les plus riches entreprises, les entreprises les plus grandes, paient leur juste part. Et ça, c'est pourquoi on a proposé une taxe sur les profits excessifs des grandes entreprises et des autres mesures pour s'assurer qu'ils paient leur juste part.
C'est tout le temps qu'on avait. This is all the time we have. Thank you.
Merci. Thank you.